Good afternoon. We're glad you could join us from wherever you are watching us from for News Now. Here's what's coming up. Coming up. 2 people dead, many more injured in a road accident at the Kaseve area along the Machakos-Kitui Road.
It involved 2 vehicles, a matatu, a 14-seater matatu, and a probox.
The Ministry of Health allays any fears that the Marburg virus could be in the country in the wake of an outbreak in Tanzania that has since claimed the lives of 8 people.
We do not have Marburg in the country. Therefore, I want to call for calm.
Confusion grips members of Full Gospel Mission Church in Kenya in Jukiri Village, Embu County, following a botched attempt to rebrand it by a rival church.
Nikaona kijana akifuta jina.
Good afternoon once more. It is 59 minutes past 12 East African time. My name is Eric Munene. Now, 2 people died on the spot last evening in an accident involving 2 vehicles at the Kaseveve area of Machakos-Kitui Road. Confirming the incident, Machakos Police Commander Patrice Lobola said a Kitui-bound Toyota Probox hit a 14-seater matatu heading to Machakos, leading to the 2 deaths, the driver of the Probox and his passenger. Several other passengers on board sustained major and minor injuries and were rushed to Machakos Level 5 Hospital for treatment. Lobolia asked drivers to exercise caution and avoid being on the road while drunk to avoid unnecessary accidents.
It involved 2 vehicles, a matatu, a 14-seater matatu, and a probox. The driver of the probox swerved and it hit the Nissan matatu. And after the accident, the passengers, 14 of them were taken to the hospital with slight injuries. And unfortunately, the driver of the Probox, registration number KCY 562C, and 1 passenger died on the spot. My question to the drivers is that let us keep your lane when you are driving. And people should not take alcohol. Don't take alcohol when you are driving. That's because just in the afternoon, how comes an accident happens? And there were only 2 vehicles on the road. So I can tell the drivers to keep lane and follow the traffic rules while driving.
Ulipotea watu wawili, mama na dereva. Lakini mmoja huyo mwingine mwanaume huyo tulitoa akiwa hai na alipelekwa kwa hospitali.
Now, in light of the recent outbreak of Marburg virus in Tanzania, the Ministry of Health has assured Kenyans that the virus has not crossed into the country and they have put the necessary surveillance measures to curb the potential spread. Health Principal Secretary Mary Muthoni has urged Kenyans to adhere to health guidelines to help mitigate the spread. Robert Gakure tells us more.
On 13th January 2025, World Health Organization (WHO) informed its member states of an outbreak of suspected Marburg virus disease in Tanzania.
Thank you.
However, the Kenyan government, through the Ministry of Health, has assured its citizens that the virus has not crossed into the country and that they have put surveillance measures to prevent any potential spread in the country.
And we have also enhanced our surveillance. And especially now there is the mention of Marburg, which is a more serious disease. We have not gotten any data that shows that there's Marburg in the country as at now. I know WHO, they have mentioned something to do with Tanzania, but as a country, we do not have Marburg in the country. Therefore, I want to call for calm.
The Principal Secretary, Ministry of Health, Mary Muthoni, emphasizing the virus poses no threat to Kenya, urging the public to adhere to the set health guidelines to mitigate the spread.
The Ministry of Health is on top of the game, ensuring that screening is at the top of the priority. Surveillance is equally at the top of priority. We are developing messages to get to the people on what they need to do. Practice high levels of hygiene.
Speaking during a visit at the Kotolengo Home for the Elderly in Murang'a in conjunction with Sukun, The PS has said that community health promoters will continue registering people in the Social Health Authority across the country.
In the Ministry of Health, in the recent past, you have seen that we are in the process of rolling out our universal health coverage to ensure that everybody in this country enjoys the available, accessible, acceptable and affordable quality health care.
Kenyans have been urged to give support to the elderly and ensure they have access to quality health care.
Let's learn that there's a problem with the older persons, and let's also champion and push for the bill to come to pass. But also let us also educate each other and understand the issues of the older persons.
We take care of our parents, especially those who are aged or aging. Let us remember them. Many times we do many things for ourselves, but we have forgotten about our aged parents.
Kenyans have been assured of the government's commitment towards quality health care services across the country. Robert Gakure, TV47, Murang'a County.
Well, thank you, Robert Gakure, for that. Now, the National Defence College Cultural Day 2025 is currently underway at the Uhuru Gardens National Monument and Museum. This year's theme is mitigating climate change through culture. The occasion is set aside to appreciate the role culture plays in enhancing regional peace and security. Let's cross over for some sights and sounds.
Ashangaira manga ne rugunji ngweregaji ni bongis bagaldanyo lamara lama baranjo arbare baralai wango loloro yokirojile royama ngwabinilo ya leyo enyem
Well, more of that in our subsequent bulletins. Now, confusion has gripped members of Full Gospel Mission Church in Jukiri Village, Embu County, following a botched attempt to rebrand it by a rival church. Now, a young man was on Wednesday found painting over the church name and in readiness, rather, to rebrand it. Congregant Catherine Wanjuki, who was first to see the young man in action, said after they confronted him, he said he was acting on instructions from Bishop Jeremiah Musimi of Full Gospel Churches of Kenya in Embu Town. The members of the church that broke away from Full Gospel Churches of Kenya 5 years ago accused the bishop of trying to take over the church illegally. Irate members called in the police and both parties were summoned and recorded statements as the matter awaits further investigations. When contacted through a phone call, Bishop Musimi dismissed the allegations as baseless propaganda.
Jana nikiwa tunaenda shughuli zangu, mimi niliona tu kijana amepanda huku juu anafuta jina yetu. So tukaitana na wengine, tukakuja, tukamsalimia, tukamuuliza kwani unafanya nini? Ndo akatuambia yeye ametumwa akuje kupaka rangi na andike sijui jina lingine.
Akatuambia yeye ni kutumwa, ametumwa. Tukamuuliza ametumwa na nani? Akasema ametumwa na Bishop Jeremiah Kimaru. Tukamwambia sasa sisi ni washirika na tujui kwa nini anakutuma kwa hii kanisa yetu, kwa hivyo wacha kwanza kufuta.
Ikawa tuende kwa polisi na tukaenda pale kwa police post, tukaripoti na tukakuja na hao police post na hao police officers hapa, wakahakikisha na wakaona ya kwamba ilikuwa imefutwa.
Ningewaomba tu tafadhali, kwa sababu nimesikia kuna issue ya kwenda polisi kuripoti na nini, lazima hapo katikati pawe pako na shida iko, na ningewaomba tu kama wakubwa wetu hapo mbeleni, tafadhali kwa unyenyekevu na kwa heshima mingi muweze kuketi chini na mjadiliane.
Moving on, Professor Noah Midamba has been appointed as the Moi University Council chairperson. The appointment was made by Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Ogamba in a Gazette notice and will be for a 3-year period. The CS also announced the appointment of Ronald Osike, Masi Nyambura Kanyara, Edward Sambili, and Anwa Sheke Makori as council members. The council is expected to serve for 3 years, with the previous board disbanded immediately. Ogamba revoked the appointment of Humphrey Kimani Njuguna, Clara Momanyi, Christopher Haemba, Yusila Ngeny, and Susan Aletia as board members. Midamba has previously served as KCA University Vice Chancellor between 2011 and 2021 before he left the institution. Now, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission has arrested and arraigned 8 Tana River County government officials accused of procurement fraud in the award of a tender for fencing of the Kenya Wildlife Compound and staff quarters in Garsena, Tana River. Quinto Wafula now reports despite the tender being issued unlawfully, the company which received it had not met the requirements. Have a look.
Investigations by the EACC established that the county government of Tana River irregularly and fraudulently awarded the tender to Al Karim General Construction Company Limited. The procurement was undertaken without a budget. At the same time, no professional opinion was rendered and there was no procurement plan, contrary to the law.
The private company that was awarded this tender did not have the requisite qualifications, and therefore that company forged documents that it used to win that tender.
The accused were charged with 5 offenses, which include
willful failure to comply with the law relating to public procurement, engaging in a project without prior planning, conspiracy to commit an offense of corruption, engaging in fraudulent practice in procurement, and forgery.
The accused persons denied all the charges before Senior Principal Magistrate Edward Kiprono Too of Hola Law Courts, who released each of them on 500,000 Kenya shillings bond with a surety of a similar amount or alternative cash bail of 300,000 Kenya shillings.
If the accused persons are not going to meet their bond terms, they remain in custody.
Further, the court issued summons for the 6 remaining accused persons who did not attend the court and are believed to have gone into hiding. EACC also calling upon them to avail themselves to EACC offices.
The other accused person would have been availed to court to enable us take other directions in respect to how the matter will proceed.
Those 6 suspects are yet to be arrested. Some are believed to have gone into hiding, and the Commission requires them to immediately avail themselves to the Commission offices for processing and arraignment.
This case will be mentioned again on 30th January 2025. Quinto Wafula, TV 47.
Moving on, President William Ruto has reiterated that it is a collective responsibility as a society to ensure the integrity of Kenya's moral fabric. He spoke at State House where he met the leadership of the Akorino Church led by National Coordinator Bishop Isaac Kariuki and Runyenjes MP Eric Mushangi Karemba.
Tunakuomba wewe ndio utaongoza fikira ya president wetu na
Now, religious leaders in Turkana County have asked the youth in the country to use the internet in a moral way to earn respect from the society. Speaking during a joint prayer for the nation and the Turkana County government at the Green for Life Ministry Church in Lodwar, the church leaders say that the youth in the country have lost morals and there is a need for the community and the church to train and warn the youth against using the internet to demean leaders. A call has also been made to political leaders in the country against making provocative statements during public meetings or political rallies.
Tumekusanyika hapa kuanzia jana. Hawa ni wachungaji kutoka sehemu tofauti tofauti ya kaunti hii, tukiweza kufunga na kuomba kwa ajili ya mipango ya miaka ya mwaka na mambo mengine yanayohusu nchi yetu na hata kaunti yetu.
Pia sisi tuliombea amani katika miji yetu ya Kenya ili tuweze kuwa watu ambao tunaishi pamoja. Kwa hivyo kama kanisa tunataka kuona nchi yetu ikiwa na amani. Kama kanisa tunataka kuona kwamba serikali yetu inaenda mbele kwa mambo mazuri. So kwa hivyo Mungu awabariki sana kwa wale ambao walikuja.
Tunataka kuhimiza vijana wetu ya kwamba mtumie vitandao kwa njia ambayo ni nzuri ya kupeana habari, ya kuripoti mambo ambayo labda imeenda mrama kidogo, lakini kuchukua mtandao na kuweka vitu ambavyo havifai, jamani, hiyo pia tunawauliza vijana wetu tuondoke katika hali hiyo, ndiposa tuweze kutumia mtandao wetu vizuri. Kwa hivyo tunawahimiza vijana kwamba tutumie vitandao vizuri.
The World Chambers Federation and the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry has organized a summit that will kick off from April 9th to 11th, 2025 at the Kenyatta International Convention Center in Nairobi. The high-profile event will bring together 4,500 delegates, 350 exhibitors and participants from over 70 countries to showcase Africa's role in global trade, innovation and sustainable development. The summit aims to solidify Africa's role in global trade, create actionable strategies for economic integration and promote sustainable practices. Additionally, it will enhance the capacities of African chambers of commerce to advocate for businesses, connect them to opportunities and leave a roadmap for future growth.
To maybe first of all handle the issue of the challenges that we have, and I think it is not unique only to Kenya, it is unique to Africa, and we would definitely expect, and I'm very happy that we have both local and international media entities and houses here, because we know the kind of the information that leaves Africa to the rest of the world sometimes is not very encouraging information about Africa.
The President just mentioned having 4,500 participants is not a mean thing. So the benefits and the objectives are just too many. We are going to bring all the SMEs on board. That's the first thing we're going to do. Of course, when we say SMEs, it goes all the way to corporates. And you know, Africa is the next frontier for business.
That we know has been an issue in terms of trade in Africa is in terms of money remittance, cross-border trade. These are issues that I know will be a big discussion during this conference.
Now, an early childhood development ECD center under construction at Varsityville Estate in Ruiru along the Eastern Bypass was recently demolished by an individual claiming ownership of the land. James Kimani, the estate secretary, explained that the land was designated for public use in 1986 as part of 16 plots, but has since been claimed by private individuals. Despite a 2017 confirmation by the National Land Commission that the plots were intended for public use, the titles have not been revoked, leaving over 3 million shillings invested in the ECD center wasted.
Now, the person who is claiming that he has a right over that property, he has not produced any title, either before the court, either before the DCI. He hasn't produced any document for us to be able to peruse, to subject that document to a public document examiner.
What you are seeing behind us is a public-funded nursery school, paid by the county government with the taxpayers' money to build a nursery school, public nursery schools for this community. This community needed a public that is affordable for the people. But the individuals who want to take up this with the support of the local authority have come more than once and demolished what you can see behind us. So what you're asking the National Lands Commission first to take responsibility and cancel these titles.
Na tulikuwa na furaha mingi juu tumeletewa hii class hapa. Watoto wetu waache kutembea mbali, sisi ni wakaaji wa Gatong'ora. So tunaomba serikali muingililie katikati. Hii maneno ya klasi inajengwa inapomolewa ikome.